So this is one of those videos that is difficult to make for several different reasons. As I am currently talking to you, it is the month of May, and we did not receive an update for our Surface Duos and Duo 2s. If we go back to the update history, March the 30th was the last update that was sent. Of course, they just barely squeezed in before the end of that month, and then we've gone an entire month again. We are now into May. We missed the April update completely. They failed to deliver an April update. Now, why is this a difficult video to make? You may be wondering to yourself. Number one is because as soon as I make this video and post it, they're probably going to push the update out, and a lot of things I have said and speculated on will now no longer need speculating on. So that just is probably going to happen. By the time you see this, the update's probably going to be live. Number two, people will take this information and they will run with it into many different directions that perhaps they ought not be running. I've already seen some comments here, some comments on Reddit, some comments on Twitter that this is proof positive the Surface Duo is in fact dead. We'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. And number three is just because it's kind of a bummer of a story, and I just don't like leaning into bummers of stories. This is a bit of a sad one. They missed us on this month, and so I just don't particularly take joy in talking about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about it anyways, and let's kind of talk about why perhaps this happened and what might be going on. Let's jump over to my Twitter feed where I quoted something from Gus Mons, the one that's putting Windows on Surface Duo. They tend to know what they're talking about. They tweeted this, the source code, but where are the OTAs? So what he's referring to here is the fact that Microsoft updated their repositories for Duo. If you go onto their GitHub page, this is what they do. This is their open source repository, and they update this. They put the new source codes out typically after the update has gone live. They did this as I'm filming this 5 days ago. Okay, the source codes were updated 5 days ago, which should be reflective of an update coming, but it never came. And we're absolutely left only being able to speculate as to why that is. And there are some options that I can't narrow down. I don't have any firm answers on this. Did they uncover a bug at the last second? Possibly. Is Google dragging their feet on allowing this to be pushed out because Google has to approve of these things? Possibly. We actually saw this a while back with the Duo update. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember saying these words in the past, and that was what I believe had happened. That is also possible. Is it possible that they just did not make an update for the month of April? No, that is not possible because we can see from the GitHub that the update exists. This problem is in the publishing side of things, whether it's the lack of publishing because there was a bug or the lack of publishing because Google hasn't approved of it yet. The update exists. We just haven't gotten it yet. It's also important to note that if we go to the update history, so let's go and just go through these very quickly. March the 30th, right? As we said, they barely made it in at the end of the month. February was in the middle. January was also towards the end, but you could say that like holidays are affecting that stuff. December, they got it out of the way early. November was middle of the month. October was kind of towards the end, but it was a fairly substantial update. It does seem as though September was early in the month. That was early in the month. They used to be pretty good at getting these updates out early in the month as we go through these. That was what used to happen. But roundabout in this region, November, October, things started really lagging behind. They started getting later and later, okay? Now, we've seen 2 updates prior get missed. Let's be real about that for just a moment. And those 2 updates that were missed prior were the December updates. Let's go to the Duo 1 changelog because it's easier to see here. We can go September, October, November, no December. December of 2020, we missed. 2021, November, January, we missed that one as well. Now, holidays were at fault there, but what we've been seeing as of late are the updates getting later and later in the month and now being missed altogether. Almost missed in March, missed in April. Why is that happening? Well, I posted a video, I don't know when, a few weeks ago. I don't know what day it is anymore. I posted a video a few weeks ago. And at the end of that video, I talked about the fact that the Surface Duo team, the people that are making these updates, they'd been pulled off of Duo and moved over to work on this weird Android Teams thing. Basically a thing that makes Microsoft money right now. They were pulled off of Duo to do some other Android related stuff involving Teams, and that was why the updates were getting less substantial and getting later and later in the month. Now, it is unclear to me, as that Teams Android project has been shipped, if the Duo team has returned to Duo at this point. I've not been able to determine if that is the case or not. So what does all this mean? Where do I think that we are at? First off, let's just answer the big question. Do I think that Surface Duo and Duo 2 are done getting updates, that they are a canceled, done, discontinued product? I don't think that they're done getting updates. I think they are discontinued in the sense that you're never going to see new ones made again. So it is a discontinued product, but they will continue getting updates through the amount of time that you're supposed to be getting them, right? Duo 1 still has, what, like 4 months or something like that. Duo 2 has about 16 months then, something like that. The idea that since Duo and Duo 2 missed the April update, that means they're not getting any more updates, that the project is totally canceled, is just silly to me. Now, it doesn't mean that they're being deprioritized internally. Absolutely they are, and I told you that a while ago, that was a thing that was occurring. Android 13 is not coming anytime soon because the team has just not been there to be working on it. They've been pulled off onto other things. So like I said, 13 is not coming anytime soon. Surface Duo 3, as far as I'm aware, while there were some cool experimentations going on with the software and there was some progress being made on the software, bringing it to a folding OLED screen, some changes in the appearance that were going to be quite radical, some implementation of how that software on Duo would translate to a folding OLED screen that is actually like way cooler than I thought it was going to necessarily be. I don't know how much further along that stuff has come. And we're talking about stuff that was happening in like October, November, and it sounds like maybe it's mostly stopped at this point, and I don't know if and when it's going to resume. Duo 3's future right now feels very, very shaky to me. Duo 1 and Duo 2 are in a spot where they are deprioritized, and we're going to miss updates like this, and I think this may just be how it goes from now on. The best case scenario is that Microsoft did what they did. They had a whole bunch of layoffs and they sort of reprioritized different things, and they sent the Duo team after a project that would make money in the now time, and that maybe since that stuff is done, they're going to be able to circle back around. Duo 3 gets rolling again. Duo 2 updates, Duo 1 updates get rolling again. 13 arrives at some point in the next 6 months or so, and Duo 3 is launched in 2024, right? Like all of that could happen. They could just be taking their time. They'll circle back around to it. That could absolutely be what's happening. But in this moment, all I can tell you is that Duo and Duo 2, Duo 3 are not in the forefront of the concern over at Microsoft, and what you are seeing is the result of that. So there you go, guys. I know this is a bummer of a video. Wish I could be talking about the new update and the new features that it brought, but this is unfortunately just where we are, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content just like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friend.